audio may contain coarse language and other materials that may not be suitable for younger audience. The opinions expressed in this audio are solely those of the speakers involved. These conversations may contain spoilers for current media such as games, comics, movies, television shows, and more. Chronic Geeks makes no claim to ownership of the various media discussed, simply the opinions expressed. Listener discretion is advised.
I just feel like that we should be.
Let me turn this crap off. Oh my god, I suffered so much through this movie. I'm mad.
I couldn't finish it.
It's like
I'll let you get to it. I'll let you guess where I was just like I can't do anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. I struggle with it myself. That was a tough watch. Of all the different movies we've picked out so far, that has to be, without a doubt, the hardest one. My glasses just reflected everything. So if I'm squinting at the screen, it's because I took my glasses off. Okay, well, let's hop right in. Let's get started. What's going on, people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are Grown A Geeks. This is Weigh In Wednesday. You are awesome for being here. What's going on? We are back with a special episode of our Weigh In Wednesday. This, of course, is our Why Did I Watch That? And tonight's feature presentation is bullshit. I'm going to just be honest. That movie was horrible. Oh my God. That was such a bad movie. It was called Food Fight. And man, that was a bad movie. Let me get this audio cut real quick. There we go. Yeah, that was a rough one, man. I struggled with that.
I didn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. I'll let you guess when I just had to dip. But yeah, it wasn't happening for me.
And you know what? That's fair. I absolutely get that. I almost stopped at one point. And it's funny because I was watching it and kind of forgot that I was watching it. I had to go back and rewind because I fell asleep on it. There was nothing good about this. I normally try to find like one good thing. There was nothing good about this. I don't have anything positive. But we'll discuss that here in just a moment. I do want to start with some other topics, some other interesting news. Apparently, Zack Snyder always finds a way to get himself back in headlines. And my man had a vision, had a plan, wanted to make the Greek gods Kryptonians. We see in Man of Steel that there's a crashed ship, and there's a conversation that happens with Zod at one point where he talks about how, scouter ships went out and this and that. And apparently the idea was that the crashed ship was going to be a Kryptonian that crash landed on Earth, and as a result spawned the Greek gods. So everybody who would be on Mount Olympus would essentially be a descendant of a Kryptonian here on Earth. And we see what Superman's capabilities and powers are. I guess the lineage starts to branch off after a while, as everybody would have had to have been half Kryptonian to start, with the exception of her, or depending on how many people were on the ship and whatnot. We don't really know exactly how it was going to go down, but ultimately it was going to be Kryptonians who were running around doing their thing, and obviously they were revered as gods. I see it on your face, so give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about that. What is that? How does that make you feel?
Looks like I don't have a problem with somebody coming up with that idea, right? Like if that happened in the comics as some sort of explanation for something, I wouldn't be up in arms about that in terms of like a storytelling device, right? But what I don't understand is like, why have you just not moved on, bruh? Like at this point, you're that ex that just keeps showing up, that keeps like you trying to make it right. You telling me all the stuff you was gonna do for me if we had stayed together, and it's just like, bruh, it was not working. Like what you did not work. People did not respond to it. It's time to move on. We've moved on. Like DC has moved on. Like they gave you your pity breakup sex with the Snyder Cut on HBO. Like that's when you just gotta like move on. You can't keep coming back. Like I had put a down payment on the ring. Like that's what this is. Like I had put a down payment on the ring, and I was getting ready to do something earth shattering for our lives.
I had a big proposal set up.
Yeah, and so I think in terms of storytelling, I think that he would have to really explain how this does not undermine the origins of like other characters like the Amazons. I think he would have to explain like how this doesn't basically create a cosmic power shift in the entire DCEU just in terms of the mentality of everyone, right? Because here's Clark thinking he's the last Kryptonian. That's such a big part of his story. And I know like Zod and them showing up kind of thwarts that, but that's a lot different than learning that like, oh, my people were like already here. It's like, so now we got Hotep Superman. Like, you know, black people came to America long before, you know, white people crossed the ocean and this and that. And it's like, yeah, that's true. And that's true. But there's a reason why they don't teach that in schools. And that's because it will upset the current power balance and understanding of how things in America work. Like they're not going to re-legislate the history books to like tell those types of things, right? And so people and the reaction that people have to that happening in real life is the same thing that people have with IP getting changed like in movies and stuff and deviating from comics on such a astronomical level, right? Like you're talking about something that's going to reverberate throughout like the entire universe of DC. And it's like, do you think the foundation of your house,
the DC universe is changing?
Right. Like, do you think that the house of the DCEU was built on a strong enough foundation to survive something like that? And I feel like the answer is no. And it doesn't matter if that's what you wanted to do. Like you were very, 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 very ambitious, but off track. You were off track, bruh. And honestly, revealing that kind of just highlights just how off track you were, in my opinion.
I would definitely agree with that. I think, as you mentioned, it would be a unique dynamic if it was something that was later discovered. Like you said, it would be great to be in a comic book, even if it was in an Elseworlds comic book, and have Batman do a test on Diana's blood sample or something and discover that, hey, there's Kryptonian DNA in here. I've only seen this once before in Superman's blood. And then start to do some discovery and find out. They go back and they look at the archives and they find out that lo and behold, all the ancient Greek gods were actually Kryptonian. That would be, something that would kind of rattle and shake what we know and understand to be. So my initial knee-jerk reaction to it is, what? Why would you do that? That's stupid. Now you're making Wonder Woman half Kryptonian, and Superman's only the most powerful because he's full-blooded Kryptonian. And it almost feels like it's cheating, like using Dragon Ball Z rules or something. And then you have to say like, oh, well, we already see that Superman doesn't have an upper limit. Can we extend the limit by making it half human? Like the human blood does something different. And then, of course, it's just like, well, if we're going to make the Amazons and the Greek gods, is that going to explain the Atlanteans also? Like anybody who's not just a regular human, right? Anybody who's not a regular human is going to end up being an offshoot from a Kryptonian who landed here 5,000 years ago and just evolved over time. Let it spill over. Now mutants are Kryptonian, and you know what I'm saying? Like everything. The Terrigen Mist is a Kryptonian bioweapon. Like it just that's what it feels like. I mean, I know that crosses over all the way into Marvel, but that's what it feels like.
The Ninja Turtles.
Right. The ooze was Kryptonian waste. Like basically you start explaining everything with Krypton. And don't get me wrong, that's my dude. But you don't want to like sour that by just trivializing and making everything Kryptonian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the last son of Krypton is the last son for a reason. And even within that, there's already the argument that the bottle city of Kandor, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody in there is Kryptonian. So it's like you're really not the last son of Krypton because there's a lot of damn Kryptonians running around. And then, of course, a lot of that's because of like time travel. And there's a lot of different factors. So we can kind of, squint our eyes at the way it's going now and be like, okay, I get it. Some of that makes sense. And it's just one of those things that like, it would have been a really, really, really hard sell. And I don't think it would have been acceptable in a handful of movies. And you take away from a character like Wonder Woman by now just making her Superman light and not letting her stand on her own and be who she is.
I mean, you basically turned Themyscira into Superman's angels,
You know,
like instead of Charlie's angels. You know what I mean?
right?
And then, but
Right.
then it's also just like, okay, yeah, it's such a
it's a great
it's
talk.
such,
Somebody
yeah.
needed to come in and be like, nah, bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's like the woman is walking out the door and you like, marry me. It's like,
right.
ooh.
Right. I can't even take that serious. And
She's like,
that's
I'm getting
exactly
on a plane. I'm getting on a plane with Bryce tomorrow. We're
Right.
leaving and we're never coming back. And you talking about marry me.
That's not
Are you
even
listening?
Dwayne Wade.
This is your problem now.
Exactly. I was about to say that's not even Dwayne Wade showing up at the wedding proposing, because at least that was genuine. You know what I'm saying? This is just like, don't do anything else because I don't have anything if you're gone. And it's like Army of the Dead didn't take off the way Zack Snyder wanted, so I guess that's why he's still clinging on to, you know. But you know what? Army of the Dead, not a terrible movie, not a fantastic movie by any means, but it wasn't a terrible movie. I enjoyed it. It was, you know, a good watch. And then following up with Army of Thieves, that was actually, I would even go as far as to say that was a good movie. That was because I think those characters were much more interesting. I got nothing against Batista, but still waiting on that thing for him, and that wasn't it.
That thing is Guardians of the Galaxy.
But see, he wants to be more than Drax. He's a better actor. You know, that's what he keeps telling us.
Okay. You don't believe in that. You gotta have self-belief.
Yeah, look, if don't nobody else believe it, he better believe it. He won't be able to convince anybody else if he doesn't believe it. I will say there is since we are talking Marvel, I want to share something with you. This is pretty cool. And tell me if you recognize this. I am going to put something up on screen, and this is quite an interesting article. Oh, let me move the thing out the way so you can see it there. Where's that?
Margot Robbie rumored to be offered MCU role. What role?
Take a guess.
Sue Storm?
Sue Storm, Fantastic Four.
Wait, who said she was going to be Sue Storm?
We called that when we fan casted our Fantastic Four movie.
Oh yeah, we did say that. I just remember we had shifted to
we had Will Smith as Mr. Fantastic. We had Margot Robbie as Sue Storm. We had The Rock and Kevin Hart, and then we had Idris Elba as.
But we had to recast Sue Storm though because we couldn't have Kevin Hart be Johnny Storm.
Right. Well, I mean, but initially. Yeah. Our initial pick was Margot Robbie.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we ended up changing it to the one that does the voice for Riley and Huey.
Regina King?
Yes. I think that was who we ended up going with for Sue Storm. And
but
but when I saw this, and I was like, Margot Robbie is now, of course, this is according to the News Insider, Daniel Richmond. Marvel has offered the role of Sue Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four. Of course, she hasn't been cast in the role, and of course, still has the option to pass.
DC can't let that happen. Or do you think that they're going away from her Harley Quinn completely? Because I feel like when we were talking about DC, I feel like she was one of the few characters that we were like, you definitely can like come over to the new universe setup, however that is. Like, I feel like they could even just make that whole Birds of Prey movie like an Elseworld tale or something else and just keep that going somehow. But there's no way like they can let Margot Robbie go be the first lady of Marvel, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a question whether or not Marvel is like really off track as they get more into the, like, when we look at what they've done here in Phase 4, and not really the way there's a diversity issue that took place in Phase 4, and it seemed to ruffle a lot of feathers It ruffled a lot of feathers because, in all honesty, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad content. It was actually really good content, and it did a good job, I think, with covering all the bases as far as like inclusion and such. But also, it did a lot to advance the story and move us forward and get us away from Endgame. And that's done. That's over. And there's new stories to tell. There's something like, now that Thanos has been defeated, you can't keep relying on Thanos. You got to move forward. So they have to build up into something new. And it's that building phase, honestly, that a lot of times, you know, nobody was able to see 25 movies ahead when we were watching Thor 2. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to go through that initial phase. And even in Phase 1, when you look at the first Captain America, the first Avenger, the first Iron Man movie, the first Thor movie, you know, technically we have to include the Incredible Hulk. You know, when you look at a lot of these origin movies that took place, they were good, but they weren't just like stellar. They weren't fantastic. It was a lot of those like phase 3 movies, a lot of those phase 2 movies that really set the standard for what we come to expect. Some of those
I think
movies,
a lot of people have kind of forgotten that stuff. It's like you remember all that stuff so fondly, which is fair and that's good. But like you're not really remembering like the movies just got better and better, right? And like now you're talking about introducing like new characters. And then you also have the added issue of like you adding new characters, you're passing mantles, you're trying to prepare for like this whole X-Men thing that everybody's like waiting on. You know, X-Men has kind of been that the cousin who like has been away and they're doing so well, and your mom just can't stop talking about how good your cousin's doing. All right.
All you want to do is get your shit together before.
I think that they were just juggling a lot. And I think people just don't. I understand why people don't necessarily have the patience, because people just want the thing to be the thing. They want it to be good. They don't want it to hear about I'm prepping for this universe and this and that. It's like, man, I paid $75 to bring my family to the movies, and I don't want to hear about this is a prep warm-up movie, this, that, and the third. Now, with the streaming content, I don't get why people get so upset about that, because you have this platform anyway. You didn't get this platform specifically for Miss Marvel, probably. You can also just like not watch it, because they're always gonna like give you just enough. If you want to skip Captain Marvel, if you want to skip the Marvels, if you want to skip Kamala Khan, like cool, man. Nobody is putting a gun to your head and making you watch this stuff so that you have to go online and complain about it. All right, just because it's intertwined, it's like cool. If you didn't watch Captain Marvel and she just showed up in, would she show up in Endgame?
Yeah. I mean, she's at
she starts doing work. Maybe that would make you want to go back and watch the movie. But if not, cool. You probably already know who she is, which is why you boycotted the movie in the first place, because you're just like comics asshole gatekeeper, like incel dude,
and probably didn't, and honestly probably didn't read the comics, because if you did, you would already know that she's like spot on for the character.
Yeah, exactly. And so and her, and like even what she said that apparently pissed everybody off is exactly something that character would say. So like that proves you're not even paying attention to who Miss Captain Marvel is, right? That's why you want them to go back to the old super sexy costume. You don't like the full body military Air Force inspired one. And it's just like basically to the point where like we had like an issue where that one was being requested more. To Marvel was like, we're not doing that one anymore. Like you can do vintage, but you can't do the like late 90s, early 2000s, very sexy version of the vintage one. It's like from that point on, it's all like full body Air Force
sash and thigh boots. Like,
and it's like I understand why. Like I feel like, you know, it should not undermine the character if she's wearing something that someone would find sexy. Right. But clearly people just was not paying attention to like what that character was and what she was about in the comics if you actually read them. And so
and even what
the costume change also makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so to that point, even when you have a character like She-Hulk, you know what I'm saying? Like in the comics, She-Hulk is one of the most like alluring creatures, because she is like prime physical physique. You know what I'm saying?
She's 7 foot tall.
You know what I'm saying? She's hella intelligent. She's a freaking lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the embodiment of what some people might consider the perfect woman. You know what I'm saying? She happens to be green, but clearly in the Marvel universe, skin tone is probably not that big a deal. You know what I'm saying? You got whole aliens running around and you got the Hulk. So a green woman isn't going to be like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. Okay. We have our chat here being pointed out. Right. She's a muscle mommy. And I mean, of course, it's one of those things like people are definitely going to be feeling her and pursuing and chasing after. And so it's like when they present something that looks really good on screen and they allow her to be, you know, very proactive in owning the good parts of who she is. And even, you know, they even show like how she struggles with that, because she feels one way when she has the power, one way when she's not. You know what I'm saying? When she's hulked out, she's still trying to maintain it, because she has that dual mentality. She's wanting to be recognized and like, hey, I'm more than just this. This is who I really am. And some people don't even want to take time to acknowledge that. And that was something that I thought was a very good portrayal in that entire series, and it just completely gets overshadowed, you know? So it's there's a lot that happens in these shows. Like you said, the streaming shows, they don't have to be watched, but it's really good content, and it's a shame if they're, you know, not being viewed as they should be.
The thing I think I would like people to realize about like Marvel, any sort of any sort of nerd IP fandom, right? Yes, you have the people who are completionists, the people who watch everything, do everything. Like like Star Trek that's the IP that is for me. The only thing I haven't watched is the original series. Eventually I'll go back and watch it. But I feel like there's this pressure that like you cannot be a Marvel completionist, right? There's too many characters. There's too many books. Like there's no comic book reader, comic book fan who was a Marvel completionist. They didn't read every title. So why do you feel the need to do that with the visual things as well? Like all the complaints about She-Hulk were frustrating because it's like, well, everything in the Marvel universe is not the same, even in the comics. Like She-Hulk is a comedic comic. It breaks the fourth wall. It does all these weird things. It's supposed to be this meta, like mess with your head experience where you as a reader are not just looking at this thing where I'm reading this book, watching this thing happen. It's like you are now in this vibe. It's one of the things that's responsible for people being able to look at something like that and feel like they're a part of the world because the characters are talking directly to you versus
talking
with something
to
like
the
X-Men.
reader.
Yeah, it's like with other things, you are just literally watching something happen. You're Uatu. You know what I'm saying? But with these other ones, some of them, Spider-Man,
that's the Watcher for those of you who don't know that right off. Uatu the Watcher.
So I think that like if people just felt less pressure to be a completionist with the Marvel stuff, it wouldn't be a thing because Miss Marvel is a show about a teenage girl, right? If you don't watch shows about teenage girls, like you're not going to understand that show. And of course you're going to think it's bad. Like if you're walking into She-Hulk thinking that it's going to be, you know, Captain America and Winter Soldier or something like that, and you're like, where's the action? Where's the fighting? You know, that's not what this is about. This is about gender subversion.
Never have.
And I think that, and it's like I always try to avoid the whole being the guy who's like, well, did you read the comics? Because usually that's negative kind of like characterization. But the only reason I say that is comics have a wide range of tones, themes, genres, even within the superhero landscape. There are more comedic ones. There's more serious ones. There's more fantasy-based ones. All the different types of genres, people can just put like a comic lens over that with certain characters. So the same thing needs to be done with Marvel shows. I mean, even look at something like Star Wars, I think is starting to get that. They make a heist movie, but just set it in the Star Wars universe. Mandalorian is just a Western or a samurai movie, basically. Like, Andor, that's like spy movie, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that like understanding that really would help people just not, I don't know. Yeah, I just it frustrates me that people you just can't like it. You can't not like it. It's just like, just don't like it and don't watch it and it's fine. It's not an attack on your fandom as like a man or a Marvel fan who's been here all this time. And yeah, it's like they're still making plenty of white male superheroes for you to look up to. I promise you they're gonna be coming. Like you don't have anything to worry about.
We're already here. We got a Guardians of the Galaxy right around the corner.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? You got Adam Warlock in that. You got Star-Lord, you know, Pratt. So there's plenty out there, and there's plenty.
And I mean, they're going to be resetting the DCEU. They're resetting the DCEU.
So plenty that's going to be out there. You got another Batman.
Those guys are all going to be white.
Yeah, that would be that. You know, so it is interesting.
Final word on Zack Snyder. Just stop embarrassing yourself, dog. Just like move on. Just stop. At some point, just like don't. Like I'm being at home. Stop going over there. Stop going over there. Like don't. Just like let her. No, do not buy that plane ticket to follow her. Like once she gets on the plane, that's a wrap, brother. Like James, she left. She's going to be with James Gunn right now.
So what? That is hilarious. So I mean, I won't even defend him. I will say that I am certain at this point that it has to just be this Snyderverse fandom that every time they see Zach, somebody's running in like, well, so hey, if we could get the Snyderverse restored, and it's just like, no, just let it go. Like honestly, I would say I was satisfied when I got to see the Snyder cut because I could then see at least an idea of where he was going. Cool.
Still
No, and that's two opinions. I can say I could see where he was going, and it does look like it was going much farther off the rails. And the more he talks, the worse it gets. Admittedly, it was like it could have been good, and we could have left it when it was still okay. But you kept on, and you kept on, and you kept on, and now it doesn't have the same allure because it's like every other day somebody's like restore the Snyder, like it's not happening, and let it go. So I'm with you, and I think even when the questions come up, he should just be like, I appreciate the support, thank you to all the fans.
I'm looking to
let it go
forward.
Right, like let me move forward as a creative.
Yeah. Like,
and
this
he's
is what
doing
I was
himself.
gonna do, but they wouldn't let me be me over there. You know how I know, bro. You was fucking up.
Let's see. So we got hey, we got some people, so we are ready. Jump in here, and I just want to say, yeah, go on and give me that evil laugh because that's exactly what it needs to be.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Yeah, just seriously though. Drink check.
You know what? I was like, I need that. I have a local iced tea.
I told David,
not a sweet tea.
I told David fetch the big cup.
Yeah, I will say that I probably needed to be at Jeff's house before I tried to watch this.
I call this.
Is you that bad?
I call this concoction huevos de crema, right? So it
creamy balls. I'm curious. What is in your creamy balls? Like, tell me about that. Yo hablo un poco español.
It sounds better in Spanish.
It does sound better in Spanish.
So it is cream soda.
Okay.
And dough ball and fireball.
Okay.
So, which is cookie dough whiskey and cinnamon whiskey.
I was about to say, so that's got a little sweet, little spice. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Why did I watch that? Man.
The question that Sam was asking himself the whole movie.
Man, let me tell you, this was one that I know what the idea of this show is about.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, not this movie. The concept of why did I watch that was to find movies that have been rated poorly on various sites. We use Rotten Tomatoes the most, but if it's low on Metacritic, low on Google, low on IMDb, we find poorly rated movies and we watch them. And when we watch these poorly rated movies, we normally try to find one redeeming quality.
Sam,
there's no redeeming quality for this movie.
Sam, can I show off my new babies real quick?
Certainly. What do you got?
We need a buffer.
So David finally found me a Pikachu Squishmallow.
Okay.
Which I've been trying to get for a long time, but scalpers are assholes. I got this boy.
He is the one that flies over the gaps in the floor.
I finally got my Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Requiem Kickstarter Collector's Edition box. And I also ordered him with it too. So it came with, I got a little minifigure.
Wow.
And Hollow Knight. And Among Us.
Oddworld. Yeah. So if anyone's interested in playing it, I believe it's 1 to 4 players, and it is it has now been released, I believe, in retailers, Walmart and such. You could get the base game itself. I think it's like $40, and if you want the collector's box, it's $125. Thankfully, I paid less because I got the Kickstarter one. But yeah, I need to play it still.
That sounds like it.
Obviously, we just got it, but.
So is this version of the game different from the other versions?
No, she just has more.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like an expansion, but they also gave you they redid the artwork for a lot of the cards.
They had to for some of them. Artwork. They had to for some of them.
Those are the ones they dropped, David, not the ones from the original 4 Souls.
Yeah.
Because they have like the original one that released a few years ago. That was the last Kickstarter they did. And then this one was just to expand on it. But yeah, if you know who Chris Chan is, so designed some cards for this expansion for 4 Souls Requiem.
And then Chris Chan did some Chris Chan shit.
Yeah. And so Edmund McMillan, the creator, was like, we're going to take this stuff out.
For the sake of the VOD, we're not going to say what Chris Chan did, but if you know, you know.
Google is free. But that being said, you might lose your soul
Yeah.
Good on that.
You give up a piece of your soul when you learn
like,
what happened.
If you don't know who Chris Chan is or what Chris Chan did, I envy you. I am completely jealous of you.
Means you're clearly not a true Pokemon and Sonic the Hedgehog fan. That's what that is.
You live a purer life than I do. You have not been tainted by the internet. But anyway, hey, we watched the movie.
We did watch a movie. I don't know. Is that
I hesitate to
right? It's like is that a movie?
So
I watched somebody's fever dream.
So did we ever talk about like the theatrical espionage deal?
No. So there is a well, we've discussed it in the past.
There's a backstory that I guess we should.
There's lore
Because this is technically David's pick, right?
No, this was absolutely yours.
This is your pick.
Because I thought we were back on David.
No, my pick was Birdemic.
No, I know, but then I had the Titanic, and then we had
David was suspended after his birthday.
But now, yes, there is something behind this story, and that is perhaps the only saving grace to any of it. But
we have not even said the name of the fucking movie.
Sam, can you do me a favor before we even announce it? Can you just pull up the poster, the theatrical poster, or the DVD cover, whatever it is?
Oh, please.
The post, yeah,
please. Y'all enjoy this. Y'all enjoy this shit.
But do you want the original or
just the one on the wiki?
This is great.
The one that doesn't feature the main characters in the front, but they're in the background.
No, okay, that's the one I got.
Oh my god, this movie confuses the fuck out of me. Like just looking at like the cast list, this movie should not have gone wrong.
No, it really shouldn't.
So, Food Fight is the name of the game. Okay, guys, Food Fight. Came out in 2012, right? But you notice something a little strange, right? Starring Charlie Sheen, Eva Longoria, Hilary Duff. Those people weren't. Those people, or just of what's on the main main poster here.
So Charlie Sheen is probably Charlie the Tuna, right? That makes sense.
It also stars Wayne Brady. And Christopher Lloyd, as well as others. Now, think about this, though. What do all those people kind of have in common? They were relevant in the late 90s and early 2000s. So what the hell are they all doing together in a movie that came out in the 2010s? So I will answer that question. So the movie had raised like tens of millions of dollars in funding. However, they had a very troubled and a very much delayed production. How delayed, you might ask? It was supposed to come out in Christmas 2003, and it didn't come out until 2012. On top of it, it was supposed to be a big theatrical release, right? Because of all these names you had, right? Instead, it had a very low-key release, being direct to video pretty much everywhere. It is frequently discussed as one of the worst films of all time. So you're welcome, Sam. You're just getting this out of the way now. It can only go up from here.
Only go up.
It can only go up. So to give you an idea, the budget for this film was $45 to $65 million. Guess how much it got in the box office?
Something in the thousands. Like
they owe money to everybody.
So this movie did $73,706. $73,706 in the box office.
And I bet all of that came from people who saw animation and took kids.
They had to rubberneck it. They had to see. You just had to see.
So Charlie Sheen plays the main character. And Jeff, you didn't watch this movie beforehand, right?
Oh no,
Jeff barely watched it today.
Jeff, okay, so all you guys have actual. I was gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna ask you to guess which character on this poster is the main character.
Obviously, it's Twinkie the Kid right there. It's front and center right there. Obviously.
No, I mean like if it's not Charlie the Tuna or like the Vlasic Stork.
Or fucking Aunt Jemima over there about to fucking fall out.
Even Mrs. Butterworth over here.
You know, that would be so that's your
maybe if we look further down, we see India.
Anyway, so Charlie Sheen plays a character called Dex Dog Detective. He is the owner of the Copa Banana nightclub and is a mascot for a cereal product. So if you haven't been able to tell so far with all the mascots that are on front and center on here, this movie is about food mascots.
It's product placement, the movie.
Product placement, the movie. Except they had to pay to use those products in there instead of it being advertisement.
Instead of being paid to use those products.
Okay, all right, hold on. Real quick. I gotta ask, what the fuck was the point of this movie?
We're getting to it. Let me
Just knowing what we know right now, who the fuck was this movie for?
your mom.
It was for kids. Tell their parents that they don't want to
Hey.
eat brand X. They want to eat the name brand cereal. They want
Yeah.
Vlasic pickles.
I
and
want the California raisins to perform in my kitchen tonight. Okay.
And you know what? That is a valid, like commercials are very effective for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Well,
if you
keep
do a
in
whole
mind,
movie
too-
with product placement, I think back to that Transformers where you saw the Xbox and the Mountain Dew vending machine. Like that movie was product placement.
Keep in mind too the fact that this movie was coming hot off the heels of like the 90s, like the 80s and the 90s huge boom in toys and like making
shit.
like you made kids cartoons specifically to sell toys. So it's coming off of that.
And that's kind of always been the thing, but what's also interesting is just like given when this movie was supposed to come out originally in like 2003 or something like that. You had the Stitch movie, of course, there was Brother Bear, and just thinking about some of the other like animated things that came out, Atlantis, Milo's Return, like there wasn't a lot that was real big at the time in terms of animated movies. So there was a perfect like opening
It was a
to
good
have
gap there.
something, right?
Yeah.
It was a perfect opening to have an animated movie, put it in, and maybe it do well because it's a cartoon. You can take the kids to the movies to see.
And a lot of these actors that are in there were popular with the younger kids too. Obviously with Hilary Duff. Also Haley Duff was in there too. She just played a smaller part. And Wayne Brady, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Really big with families. Like that was such a huge thing at the time. So anyway.
And Charlie Sheen wasn't Tiger Blood Charlie Sheen yet.
No.
So he was still a marketable person.
Who was the insane person at the insane celebrity at the time? I used to watch The Soup a lot, and they used to rip on him all the time. I can't remember his name, but he looked insane. And I know specifically a quote that Joel McHale kept running was him talking about ripping someone's endocrine system out of their ass. I don't remember who that was, but bonus points for anyone that does. Anyway, so let me tell you the name of Hilary Duff's character, then we'll move on. She plays an anthropomorphic cat mascot for a raisin brand. Raisin brand, similar to what's the raisins that everyone gets, not California raisins, the ones with the girl on it.
Sunmade.
The red box. Sunmade, yeah.
Sunmade, yeah. So it's a play off of Sunmade. I guess they couldn't just get actual, like none of the main characters are actual brands. They're made up. So Hilary Duff plays Sunshine Goodness. That is her name. First name Sunshine, last name Goodness. Sure.
Okay.
So let's explain what happened. So first of all, with this conception, it was first conceptualized in 1997, and they put together a $25 million joint investment into the product made by Threshold Entertainment and a Korean investment company. So because the producers for the Korean investment company were expecting foreign pre-sales and all that to be like such a big like portion of the budget they put in as well, because they're assuming it's going to do just fantastic overseas too, despite the fact these are all American brands, but whatever. So let's see. The film was created and produced by Threshold in Santa Monica, California. Let's see. Unfortunately, in December of 2002, which keep in mind is a year from when it was supposed to come out, apparently all the hard drives containing most of the unfinished assets from the film have been stolen.
Let me say it.
In what he considered an act of, David?
It was an act of industrial espionage
and an incredibly complex crime. Okay.
Somebody set a magnet on top of the laptop kind of thing.
No, it was gone. Somebody stole that shit.
Physically took them.
Yeah.
So an investigation, which included the Secret Service, like the United States Secret Service, was unable to find the thief.
Nothing yet.
The film was auctioned off for only $2.5 million. So Story Arc investors had ultimately invoked a clause in their contract that allowed. So the insurance company received the copyright to the film in 2012 and began releasing it and its associated merchandise. There was merch, Sam. There was merch for this.
But I mean, you know what? I would be okay with having like my Charlie the Tuna little action. Oh wait, because I'm gonna end up with a Dex Dog Detective and a Sunshine Cat Girl.
So I didn't. There was also a Food Fight video game planned for the GameCube, PS2, and Game Boy Advance. It was shown off at E3 2006, but was canceled.
What?
There's not even a.
How?
You know what? It's gonna be like a Bionic Commando style game with the price gun grappling hook attachment. Yeah. Continue on. I will find the Food Fight video game.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the
That is.
let me check. Hold on. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Food Fight only has 3 reviews from critics, so it has no score on the tomato meter.
Damn.
And has a 10% on the audience score.
Damn.
Yeah.
That 10% is kind of generous.
And it suggests I might also like Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Me and the Kid, Jet Jackson the Movie, and Scooby-Doo the Mystery Begins.
All of those are better picks.
Okay, to be fair, Jet Jackson the movie was actually kind of fire. Like that's
So there are some if you want just real quick a couple of quotes from some reviewers.
Yeah,
Kate Ballantyne of the Hollywood News called it by far the crappiest piece of crap I've ever had the misfortune to watch.
damn.
An article in the New York Times the following year said the animation appears unfinished and the plot is impenetrable and even offensive.
Damn.
New York Times also reported that Food Fight has been seized upon by internet purveyors of bad cinema. Another person described it as one of those fall of civilization moments.
Damn.
The grotesque ugliness of the animation alone would be a deal breaker, even if the film wasn't also glaringly inappropriate in its sexuality, nightmare-inducing in its animation, and filled with Nazi overtones and iconic, even more egregiously unfit for children than the script's wall-to-wall gauntlet of crude double entendres and weird imitations of interspecies sex.
Yeah, that's yep. And even that to me is still like that is just really, really, really well worded.
But so the guy came back and the guy revisited the movie, this review in 2019, stating that it was the kind of bad movie I live for. This is the kind of movie so unbelievably, surreally, and exquisitely terrible that you want to share it with the rest of the world. I was put on earth to suffer through abominations like food fights that society as a whole might benefit from my Christ-like sacrifice.
I was just reading one of the reviews. It's a 5-star review. It says, I love how you love my raisins, big guy. Cat thing.
All right. I have the entire.
I'm finished.
Oh, God. A masterpiece.
So let's just jump right in here with this.
But we all love Wayne Brady, right?
It's funny because that's one of the scenes that I want to highlight.
Look, sometimes you just want $1 million.
And this is literally like $20 is $20, and I can't judge nobody for getting a paycheck. I think this was one of the things that. Okay, so there's just so much.
That's right when Wayne Brady was trying to like branch out more from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right. And so, you got to take the roles that are given. And in fairness, this is, this is voice acting. So if
David Pizza.
If you're thinking that like, oh, hey, making me do shit, I'm going to be in this movie, but I'm only going to be doing voice acting. So it'll be okay. If the animation is like any other movie that came out that's animated, it should be like decent.
I mean, because the problem is this is after Toy Story.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it's after Toy Story 2. And it's after like a whole
lot
on top
of it, that the animation we ended up seeing was animation they did after, like earlier, or like
there are
sooner to where they actually released it.
There are multiple trailers.
So
there's the original like teaser trailer that came out in like 2002. Mm-hmm. And then there's the theatrical trailer that was recut from the film.
So the animation that ended up in this movie wasn't even like old animation from the early 2000s. It should have been 10 years.
It's scary as hell. So here's my overall summary of the movie. Somebody pitched an idea, and when they did their initial treatment and was like, hey, here's an idea for a movie. What if we had all of the mascots in grocery stores come to life at night, the way they do in Toy Story? Okay. I see where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like the concept is there. So it's like, okay. And we tell a story in the grocery store. It could be good versus evil, and there's a love story. And, they pitch it the way you pitch any kind of movie. And somebody says, okay, that's a great idea. Here's some money. Go make that movie. Oh, we're going to animate it. Even better, because it's going to cost us a lot of money to get some of these products and get the clearance to use all these mascots. They gave somebody a lot of money to go and make this movie. And he went to Vegas and he lost all of that money. and it came up on due dates, and they was calling, and he was not answering phone calls. And one day they was like, "We're going to put hands on you, and people are going to be looking for you, and you need to you better turn something in." And my man was like finishing a science project on the bus on the way to school, gluing stuff to the cardboard on the bus.
He claimed his dog ate his homework, which bought him more time by saying corporate espionage.
But even then, when he got to do the retest, he fell asleep on the retest and showed up late to that class. Here is the highlight of this movie. And Jeff, I'm thinking, you said, guess where you cut out. I'm going to tell you, I bet it's this scene right here.
I got it on in the background too. And this...
But just let me know. And I kind of want to wait. I know David's out. I want David to come back.
I'm here.
Okay, David.
He's making pizza.
I am guessing that this is the scene that Jeff initially cut the movie off on. When he saw this, he was like, "Nope."
I'm crying chocolate milk.
Not doing it. No, I didn't make it that far.
I actually made it further than that.
Oh,
yeah.
This moment, I was like,
I'm sorry. Like, why did he actually look like an action figure someone just threw off a building?
No, it looked like somebody probably had on like a green bodysuit. It was just holding the figure and moving it. Oh, and then the grapple gun out of nowhere. I mean, he was
out of his ass. Didn't you know that?
Pulling well, I mean, he has this humongous holder for a tape gun. And it's like clearly an attachment you have to add to it, but that's neither here nor there. And like you said, from now on, whenever I see Meg Thee Stallion dancing, we are no longer referring to it as Meg Thee Stallion knees. We're calling them Dex Dogtective knees because there's no way you are standing up after that. And I was very confused, very upset, but.
Like I saw that part in the movie, I was just like, I know what movie we're watching. I know what kind of movie we're in here. I know what the hell.
I promise you that set the tone. It was at that point, and I was just honestly like, I hate you all.
It's never going to get better from here, is it?
Right. This is good. This is the high point in the movie. I know.
You know a movie's gonna you know a movie's gonna be great whenever you sit there and think to yourself, I am actually upset.
Angry that I am watching this movie.
Like I'm ill.
Like
I'm gonna keep a trash can nearby.
I rewatched this movie and I was just like, damn, I really rather watch the Emoji Movie. Like
that movie was so bad.
I know, and that's
David, are you saying that's your next pick?
The Emoji Movie?
We go redeem with some movies for a little bit. I'm gonna catch Ghosted real soon.
Listen, I told you guys you need to watch The Final Sacrifice, but no one wants to listen to me.
See, I don't know if I can trust that now.
Hey man. Hey, there got my boy Wayne Brady right there as Daredevil Dan.
Okay, can we talk about what's going on top of his head?
What?
I have no idea.
Usher My Way goggles.
Almost looks like he has 3 lenses. Like there's one on the very top.
Right.
And then the other two.
He's got them. He got them twisted to the side.
Look at his eyes.
That's how black people wear.
Look at that man's eyes and tell me there's a God.
What is going on with his legs? What's going on?
All I could think about was John Leguizamo from Spawn when he was playing the clown, and he had that like weird stance and was like squatting the whole movie. And I was just like, I feel so bad for this chocolate rodent.
Hey, did you notice like Dex got caked up though?
I did not notice that. That was
whole movie. All this trash fire going around, and you're just like, damn, that dog got an ass on.
But you know what? I want to see. But no, I was more impressed with his dancing skills because there's a scene later where he's dancing with Lady X, and all I can think to myself is, what is it with dancing dogs in movies? I think Linda has a thing dogs in movies. It has to be like,
oh shit, that's actually 2 in a row.
That's 2 like. So clearly, if it's an animated dog, there has to be dancing. That's the rule now.
I really like dogs.
That's the rule now.
Oh, speaking of dogs, can I just take a moment for everyone just to say thoughts and prayers for Handsome Jack, the Chihuahua, my Chihuahua, not actually Handsome.
What the fuck is going on here?
Chocolate tears.
Chocolate tears. So because we were talking about dogs, so Handsome Jack is on crate rest for the next week and a half. Still, he has an issue in his spine. It's not like full on IBDD. The vet thinks that it's just like a slightly bruised or whatever disc. So he just needs a little bit of crate rest, and then he'll be okay. But he is stuck in his crate, actually by David. I actually have 2 crates set up. I just move him from crate to crate depending on if I'm in my bedroom or at my computer because I don't go anywhere else in the house. And yeah, he just sits in his little crate and he looks sad. And it makes me very David, I needed to feed him. I'm a horrible owner. I need to feed.
Yeah, that would be.
After this.
Okay, yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be fine.
that'd
So
be
it makes me sad because his medicine's really starting to kick in. So he's starting to like really want to get up and be antsy. And we keep having to like, no, Jack, sit down. Don't do that. I feel bad.
Well, fingers crossed Jack makes a full recovery.
Mhm.
He's Handsome Jack's been hanging out for a good little bit, so
And
he will
then
do all right and get to
then he
moving
can be
around
a
again.
dancing dog again.
Right, because that's clearly a thing here. That is
Oh.
the theme, dancing dogs. But
Also,
looking at this dog here.
I got confirmation. Also, Jack has gained 2 pounds since we got him. So he is no longer a 5-pound dog. He's a 7-pound dog.
7-pound dog.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. So we're looking at this cake dog that you just talked about, and
Cake
this
dog.
was one of the things that kind of, I don't know. I was slightly bothered by this, and I just want to point this out again. So
yeah, look at that.
What is going on here? Hold on.
There's a lot going on here. What the fuck is Dan looking at? What the fuck he looking at?
I mean, he looking a little too hard for that to be his best friend girl. I'm just saying. But
We're using girl very, very,
Mhm.
very generously.
yeah, whatever's happening here is
I'm
happening.
happy for you,
That,
dog.
that is nightmare
So
creature.
we call her pussy then, right?
No, that is a nightmare creature.
I mean,
That is
okay,
that is
but
true nightmare.
Explain to me why Dan looks high the entire film.
because he a pilot.
Tell me why there's no
No.
soul behind those eyes.
Like, but right here, like, just all of the animation in this movie was like nightmare fuel. None of this was like, and it really bothered me because when I first tried to sit down and watch this, I literally fell asleep and I woke up because it was playing in the background. That's how bad this was. I just could overhear parts of it. And this was clearly like just straight voiceover work, but it really bothered me that this character's voice had the young,
Oh,
lively Hilary
her-
Duff.
is her left hand on backwards now?
I don't know. Let's see. It's just a bad pause, I guess. It was all bad. So it
It was
could have been
all
like that. Who
There's
knows?
nothing great.
Right. See, no, it's right. But like how she randomly
Look at I hate this. I hate this so
Woo,
much.
oh, beautiful.
Why is that melon
Beautiful.
on the top layer of the Adobe Premiere? Why?
it is
Oh my
just like
god.
young Hilary Duff sounding voice with a much older sounding Charlie Sheen. And it
Yeah.
translated over in the conversations between them. And I'm watching an animated dog talk to an animated cat about how he wants to marry her. And I was just like, I feel itchy watching this. I
Like-
did not like that.
And then you think a little bit harder, and you have a line where Hilary Duff says in all seriousness to Charlie Sheen, "I love that you love my raisins, big guy." And I vomit. I vomit every time. I hate it. I hate it here. I
Every time.
want to go.
Profusely.
Jeff looking like he wants to.
Because he's watching it right now.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's in the background. It's on like the Nazi part,
Right. Full
like
on.
marching down.
Oh, not
the
not.
street.
It's Star Wars. It's fine.
There you go. No.
It was a good idea, but once they had to pay to all those companies to license their characters, and then even just like the litigiousness of like dealing with like all these different companies IP trying to put it in the movie, like, you know, people was like, well, our character is not going to be the bad guy, he's not going to lose, nothing bad's going to happen to them.
Well,
And so
think
then
that's why
they just get rid-
yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why none of the main characters, good or bad, are actual like real brands, because they didn't
Oh,
want to
no.
favor one or the other.
For
So
sure.
I
Like the
will-
companies definitely were like, if you want to use, like, if you want the M&Ms in this movie, they need to be heroes. And everybody's like, fuck that. Like,
I will give
Yeah.
the studio this. They made damn sure that movie got released somehow, some way. That shit had to get out of the fucking house. It had to.
Again, I assure you, it's one of those things where, you know, somebody's going to be sleeping with the fishes if this doesn't get released. So I don't care what you turn out,
Dog.
something get put out.
They didn't even break. I know somebody was fearing for their life. They didn't even break even at all.
No.
Nowhere close.
At 70 box office, they owe people. Okay.
Nowhere close to the
You
low end of the budget. Not even close. Somebody was hanging up over a porch somewhere, bro. Somebody was hanging out. Somebody got the Suge Knight treatment.
Very much so. I want to go to another moment.
Oh,
Just
man.
because, and I completely forgot that, like, my dumb ass paid to watch this. So
Why?
because
Well,
when I
I-
searched for it, I could
Mhm.
not find it, and then I saw it was like, oh, okay, it's only like $2.99 on YouTube, click, click, click.
I appreciate you spending cash money dollars for this conversation right now.
So what is it? So now it's 73,003. They made something on the back end finally. Oh wait, somebody's asking.
Charlie Sheen gonna get a check for half a cent.
Clearly, he's. I mean, like something's happening.
Winning. He's winning.
Right. I mean, it's that tiger blood, baby.
Gotta be.
But yeah, like, so because I've actually like purchased this, I have it up on my YouTube. I thank John Tron. Appreciate he had some clips, some really good clips that I was able to use. But you know what?
Thank John Tron for letting David and I know about it so I could suggest it for today.
Okay, well then John Tron can
watch this movie.
Then that changes my entire feelings about John Tron then. So wait a minute.
Stream ain't working on Facebook.
That would explain the lack of folks. Actually, you know what? It's probably, let's see, I think I have it shared, but we'll get that figured out. If nothing else, it'll be available on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on Twitch. Let's see. You know what? I'll probably need to share that YouTube then just to make sure that it's there. Let me pull this up though, because I want everyone to see this because I was really, really confused.
I love this shit so much.
I was extremely confused.
It's so bad. It's good. It's so just play the clip. Play the clip, please. I'm begging.
Get this one little thing here.
Why he walked like Edgar from Men in Black. He walked around with his Edgar suit.
He was. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if we can call that walking. That was
movement. That's what that was.
Somebody in their death throes in there. Jesus
Christ. All right. Here we go. Boom.
Already. Look.
And you know, initially when I was watching, I was trying to figure out what in the heck.
Where's his neck? Like, if you had to have like a neck between like 1 to 10, he has like a -3 neck.
Dog, what is going on? Look like Jim Carrey movement, like right.
You should flip your camera so it makes it look like you're looking at.
That's just.
That's what I did.
I gotta look away. Oh my! Look,
I mean, everything about this person is just, and it's like just the love and care he takes into. But look at that. What do we got in the background? That's clearly Wonder Bread, and we got.
That's so well captured that it didn't go in and fix where the rig breaks. Oh, that rig was broken from the beginning, baby. That thing was gone.
I'm not buying no food from nobody who looked like that.
And again, I didn't really even understand what this world was about. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, like the world comes alive at night and stuff. This made no sense.
You know what? You can thank this movie for why we had Sausage Party.
Sausage Party was Oscar worthy in comparison.
I mean,
forgot to do a lot of things for that guy. He was.
Let me see.
David, how much longer on the pizza?
Less than a minute.
Okay.
There's another. There we go. I want to find.
My man's was out here just. I'll even call that movement. He was like, he was.
What was he, David?
I don't know what to call it. He's just
progressing forward. Like I said, it's progressing. It wasn't walking.
Some mysterious force was propelling him forward, and it wasn't movement. It wasn't ascending or descending. He was just
specifically learned by watching Ministry of Silly Walks. That's what it is.
He was progressing along an axis. That was it.
Now this is the dance number. You know, we got to have a dance number since we have a talking.
By the way, this is Eva Longoria here, ladies and gentlemen.
Eva Longoria. And for what it's worth, probably like I give all credit to Christopher Lloyd for still coming in, killing his lines.
Yeah.
I have to give Eva Longoria a little bit of credit for like her lines. I don't know what crime. Actually, he's trying to just figure out the disappearance of right. He's trying to find why his girlfriend's missing. Meanwhile, what's he doing? He's out here dancing with this chick, Lady X, who again is like, this is the moment where he's supposed to like give in.
This is not a kid's movie
at all. And even
like
the conversation.
First time when she was in the office, when she like turned around and she just put her leg on his shoulder, like the first time they danced, like you just met this dog, first of all. Second, and then it's just like the worst part was like there's all these like the animation is so bad, but in such poor taste that there's like all these like upskirt shots. Not that there's like anything there, but like the people who were animating the movie didn't have the decency to just be like, oh yeah, we should maybe change these character designs or this angle. Because like when he picks her up in the beginning to take her to like dinner, that's like one that it's just like this is weird. Like
right around here. I mean, I honestly that was why I didn't want to expressly go, but yes, that was one of the things that also made that really weird because he's spinning her around, and I'm like, why do we keep seeing up this skirt? Why do we keep seeing up this skirt? I want to say there were shorts or something. There was a problem. Everything is wrong with this, and it was not okay. There is, as we get into now, there was one character here. This character, voiced by Larry Miller.
Liberace Bat.
Yes, he's funny as hell. This whole sequence right here, because he's like, a chocolate bat or something. And of course, that character is chocolate. So he's only concerned with getting to that chocolate. And it's just like, do you work out? I use the Thigh Master. And it's like Larry Miller's voice is perfect for this character. You know what? This could be my like saving grace. The only part of the movie I wasn't just like hating myself. Ratchet and Clank really let himself go. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how it felt. But that bat, he had a little moment, and you get towards the end of this movie, and there starts to be like this big battle that takes place. None of this stuff makes any sense. There was no consistency in the fight, and it's like
what are you talking about? It was perfectly balanced. Masterpiece.
So here we have the Brand X whipped cream, which explodes in dust clouds, and yet moments ago, what we got here? Here are pies. They're like, big gloopy explosions. I really could not understand why there was like fire explosions under like peas, and it was just one of those. I promise you, I caught that too. I was like, why does she have the perfect, like, everybody else just has like an X symbol somewhere. She has the official X-Man logo on her costume.
Yeah, she like Psylocke bootleg sister.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, these people, where the hell are they coming from? Like I get that this world exists in the grocery store at night when it closes, and all the animals get to, not animals, well, some of them are animals, but all the mascots get to come alive and they get to run the store. But they even have like whole conversations where they're like, not where the humans are. You can't go out during the day and stuff like that. So it's not like they all understand what's happening. And the copy paste action that takes place for this is like all cardboard cutout. And like I said, this was somebody who had more than enough time to do the project and decided to try to like put the project together on the bus on the way to school. That is about the level of care and attention that went into this. So these are peas, I'm guessing, straight explosions. And it's just, again, there's just no consistency to the battle. These things, I have no idea what the bubblegum fight was. You take out one enemy with the bubblegum. Like, if you're going to do that, take out the one in the front. So he rolls back and there you go, like that,
Sam, that they did not research battle tactics.
Look,
making of this movie.
This movie was released 2012. 2012. So
that's the hard thing to believe. Like, if this was one of those like computer animation had just started, people were figuring things out, then I would be like, all right, like I get it. But this is 2012. Like, we're full on in like people are making full animated movies on computers, 3D. It was like,
okay, that. Help me out, because maybe I did not know what the hell.
He's a weasel. That's a weasel.
That's a poop rat.
That's a poop rat.
Okay, so I was thinking to myself the whole movie, like, why is he shiny like that? Why is he glistening like that? I ain't like that. I ain't like that he was shiny and glistening. I get that it's a weasel, but it bothered me. And at no point did they really clarify. He's like, oh, I'm chocolate, or because at least
everybody can't be chocolate.
I mean, if Danger Dan had, like, he explained he was chocolate. So when he was crying and the little chocolate milk tears was coming out, cool. They came back around with the chocolate vampire guy, and he was like, "Oh, you're chocolate. What are you? Milk chocolate? That smell." Larry Miller was perfect. That was actually kind of funny. What the hell was happening with this weasel thing here? I was really confused, and nothing that they showed helped.
Why is this bottom half a fucking turkey?
Nothing.
What is this?
And let me tell you something. That moose, you might as well have, like, they tried to get the most stereotypical Italian sounding person for this, because that is cliche. Like, hey, yo, you guys over here, you got done. Like, I was like, bro, come on. They're just going overboard.
Known for its large moose population.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was the representation for that. See, and it's like, why is that like? Because they never clarified that was or was not chocolate, so that bothered me. Okay, now this little segment here, they march on the the restaurant. Oh, like I'm gonna pop your corn, bruh. I got so tired. Really bad food puns in this movie. Like,
Sam, what do I look like? The Dairy Queen?
it was just so forced. I mean, like, it's one thing to be like, oh, it had a bad script. The conversation sounded clunky. And then you have shit like this where they be trying to find a way to fit just stuff in. So it was like a contest at some point to see how many puns they could slip in throughout the movie.
I can really accept that if the quality of the movie is good, but I'm not watching a movie that look like shit and then listening to people talk like this at the same time. You got to pick one, brother. Like,
exactly. Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. But this was struggling all the way through. And here's the funny part. By this point in the movie, because it's taken me like way too long to finish this thing, because I'm just like, I don't want to watch it. And so at this point, Celeste has gotten home and she's sitting down kind of watching through it with me at this. And she's like, I couldn't even really like explain to her what I was watching. I was just like, just come in here and sit down. And this is about where she came in.
Oh, the penguin is voiced by Chris Kattan.
Yeah. He got some cookies. But that would have been like, that's a great movie now. Chris Kattan did this, and that just moved Corky Romano up a notch. That's how this works. And it's like, she asked, and she was like, oh, what happened? Why did the penguin die? I was like, I don't know. I don't care. I was like, when I tell you, you don't care about these characters.
God, why is he like 90% nose?
That dude.
Why not?
Early in the movie, he sneezed. That was so nasty. Like,
he must be like Mucinex or something. Like one of them nose spray.
It was literally his thing said the nose knows something. But yeah, that was again just another. Where did they march on?
God, I feel like
I'm thinking, bro.
I feel like I blocked out so much of this movie because I'm like, I don't remember this at all. And okay.
He look up, you can see what he's thinking. Good God, look at this man.
I want to find the part where I'm trying to remember where's the singing takes place.
Look at this motherfucker.
Right, and he's blind as a bat. Keep in mind, so that's why he's running into stuff. But yes, again, voiced by Larry Miller. Again, only thing that was good. I actually laughed when he was on screen. Okay, I do want to watch it. Yeah, because there's really only like one scene that I would want to kind of go back and find.
You didn't even get to the cat fight.
You gotta get to the cat fight. Gotta get to the ending.
Can't do it no more.
Okay, I'll do the cat fight. Only because it kind of helps explain some stuff, and I'm gonna save you all the trouble.
What does it explain?
This is why I do this. Like honestly, we were talking about it earlier. Here's the reveal. Now it's already crazy because what are humans doing out right now? Because this is overnight, and it's when the mascots come alive. And of course, we've been wondering why this thing looks the way it looks and moves the way it moves. And the damn dog is stiff as hell. Like he really looked like he was struggling to jump over that rope. Like everything about this, he goes to get over this rope. This thing falls.
No, Sam, we can't see the screen, right?
Hey, I'm doing y'all a favor. Trust me. That's okay. It would have made more sense. So let me take this back because this one little part he tries to. So he's running like he had no hang time, was not able to like really get over that string himself.
My man fell for like 3 years, dog. Like, what's going on? And also, he died all of a sudden just now.
Here's the reveal. Dun dun.
This is now a mech movie.
I love Gundam Wing.
She jumped out in slow motion.
How the ho-hos can this be happening?
Okay, and they go through a little bit of a reveal. A fight breaks out. The dog doesn't want to fight back. Simply because, he's not going to hit a girl.
Girl, can't hit girl.
A dame.
Are those melons real?
Nice little Austin Powers joke. Poor Mr. Clean, who just kept getting dirty the whole movie. He won't hit her. Not now, not ever. But
where the fuck did you come from? How did you? I thought you got kidnapped and was missing. Where the fuck were you at?
For the answer, right. And it's like, for the answer to this question and more, go back and watch this movie for yourself. It is actually free on YouTube. If you look carefully, you can find it for free.
Oh, me.
Knocked her stitches loose. Now here, that is a disturbing image. Let's take that back just a bit. Best I can tell you. See, there it is. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a spam. Like, why do they keep on doing this? I will say, and this is worth noting. We have to point this out. They managed to get the scary-eyed squirrel right here.
Whatever the fuck this is.
Wait, what is that broccoli in the background?
What?
The billboard.
Broccoli ball player.
Dog.
The broccoli got an afro.
Broccoli ball player slam dunk veggies.
That's
Is
crazy.
what- But I want you all to
That's
look at the
crazy.
way Dan walks. Maybe there was a little motion cap that took place with this because he got a little bounce in his walk, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, nah, Wayne, hey, Brady, to go just walk in this room real quick, bro. Make it look urban.
There
Why
might
you
have
walk off
actually
like
been. There might have actually been some motion cap. Thank you. I could. Oh my
No,
God. thank
listen,
you,
listen,
Lord.
listen.
I
It would look
could not
better if they
figure
had made
out.
it in VR
Dog,
chat.
like they would have made it. They made a hell of a lot more money because Jesus.
Oh, you know what? But that
Christ.
actually answers. I was trying to think to myself earlier, where have I seen this? Freaking VR chat room lobbies. That's exactly what this is.
Throw Uganda
Oh.
knuckles in there, call it a day. You know,
Okay, that is, and like this right here,
get the fuck out of the camera.
right? Like if that dude sneezed, we all did. And he sneezed early, and I thought they was gonna die. There's a whole little like closing number.
This shit.
What is with this group dancing?
What the?
Soy vey, who knew?
Soy vey.
And they go through the credits with a little bit here. Like there's just a little bit here and there. It's
It was not a good movie.
not at all.
Look, man.
So and here's a random question: are milks like allergic to? Are dogs allergic to milk? Like,
No.
is it bad? Because I couldn't understand like why the idea of when Dex goes to the bar at one point and he's like, you know, takes a little bit of milk and he like throws it back like he's taking a shot. And he has to like shake it off
Because at the core of it, this is still a children's movie.
and I mean I get that, but
And
like
let's
and-
ignore the fact that like the Dex Dog Detective's fiance is a mascot for fucking raisins. If you did not know, raisins are extremely toxic to dogs. Why would you do that? What's going on here? What's happening here? Who did the research?
See,
for
I
this?
did not know that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
don't-
why it's so crazy. Like, oh, I love how you love my raisins, big guy.
that's my favorite line in the whole movie. It's so bad and it applies a lot because it's Hilary Duff saying this to Charlie Sheen and it makes me feel bad.
right, something about it just feels ick.
Oh, it's all bad. It's terrible. But it's like a car wreck. It's like the car's on fire. It's flipped over. It's blocking like 6 lanes, and you can't help but look. You drive by and you're just like.
It was interesting that at one point, yeah, right. I got through it, but it was crazy because I mean there were a couple little things here and there that were like at some point this had the potential to be it was never going to be a good movie. I think the animation made it a worse movie. Could have worked for, you know, like a kids movie kind of thing. And there were a few little like visual jokes that were kind of funny, like he gives her the ring that he gives her that he wants to propose with her actually has 3 carats sticking out the top. So it was a 3-carat ring. Oh, that's cute. You know, little stuff like that. So, I mean, obviously somebody somewhere wrote a couple of jokes, but it became nothing more than just like, oh, let's see how many puns we can throw in here. And let's keep doing that the whole movie. And that won't get old.
How can we make this movie uncomfortably sexual?
Right. Because they absolutely.
Excuse me.
All right, the nose, dude gonna come up and find you. This was this was not a good movie. I don't recommend this to anybody for any reason at all.
I hope
Why
you
do you
guys
like it?
enjoyed. I didn't.
And this is literally like when we say, why did I watch that? This is one of those times where I could say, like, why did I watch this?
You know, like when
Because
you
at least-
somewhere, you like at a party and somebody's trying to like bring up a movie. If somebody was trying to like remember the name of this movie, I wouldn't even chime in and help because I don't.
Right. He's just so stiff trying to jump. There it is, David. The way you love my raisins. And look at that. Okay, we're upskirt
Yeah.
again.
Why? I didn't need that. I
Upskirt
didn't need that.
again.
I didn't need this.
It doesn't look right.
They're not at a
wrong.
restaurant. They all secluded in the woods. Like, not creepy at all, dude.
Yeah. And the fact that they tried to make her look so like that doesn't look cat-like. That looks very human. You know what? That looks like a Faunus from Ruby. And that bothers me. She should look like a cat. As much as he looks like a dog, she should look like a cat. Just
Make it worse.
no, because then I would be like, okay, it's 2 animals, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? It was like
With
that,
this, it looks like a dog is
No.
going to be having sex
No,
with
because
a human.
Sam,
with
like
cat
you're,
ears.
you're saying that this might be good, but remember that the remake for the Cats movie happened,
Mm.
and that was just pure nightmare
Looks
fuel.
like-
You want to
She
have
looks
that?
like a cat's character.
No, she doesn't. She looks like a Alvin and the Chipmunks character gone wrong.
Yes,
True.
yes. That is the right.
She looks like the most half-assed Halloween costume. Like she was a school teacher, and they're like, you have to dress up for Halloween today for the kids. So she just got some fucking ears, slapped them on, drew some whiskers on, called it a day. Then everyone called her Naruto all day anyway. So
that's exactly what happened. This is you know what? I'm going to reference this video. I'm going to have like I'm going to take the title card for this video and maybe like a couple of seconds of us talking about it. And I have a too long didn't read for this one. A full summary that I've already got prepared. That'll probably go up on like the. Wait a minute. What are you over here talking about, Pickle Ricky? I don't know if I'm oh god. Now we're getting other movie recommendations. Okay. Let me see. Okay, he's got a. Let's see.
The point of this show is not to just watch terrible movies.
Not right. Like
we watched it, so you don't have to.
You know, the original plan was to say, hey, this movie got rated really bad, but maybe it wasn't a bad movie. Let's find out. Is there something we can redeem about this movie? We try to find something.
This is just hard mode. This is just hard mode. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, initially when we first sat down, I was like, "There's nothing good about this movie." Then I remembered, okay, Larry Miller's character was in it, and that little chocolate bat was funny. That I could do a movie of that. Him and Dan going back and forth where he's like trying to hit on Dan the whole time. That would be somewhat funny. Because he seems like he would, whoever is chocolate works for him. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the visual on this Psycho Gorman official trailer. Like maybe there's talking points. What is this movie? In theaters and on demand. This came out this year, January 22nd. Okay, we'll review that later. Maybe we'll see what's up with that one. Yeah, yeah. I gotta find something specifically aimed at these two. David and Linda must suffer for what they have made us watch. So I'm gonna find something that's
David still has to pay. Why I gotta pay?
We gotta do like a bad video game movie, like Double Dragon.
Because I've watched them all, baby. I see them all, baby. I am numb to this shit.
Now, I guess Sam, if you want to kind of take it back to your original, why did I watch that? I would recommend Silent Hill, which I'm sure we've all seen the movie before, but it'd be worth rewatching and discussing. And I always find a way to take it back to Silent Hill, but
that's why I'm laughing, because I'm like, you know what, that was a good pitch right there. You know what, we could probably do like a little offshoot of the why did I watch that, and like maybe focus it on genre. We can specifically target some of the horror films and stuff like that, because Marius, my son, actually said that he was interested in doing something similar with the idea of like just it being scary, like bad scary movies. And I was like, okay, well, that could be interesting. And
well, I do specifically bring up Silent Hill is because of the fact that I've rewatched these movies. I think within the last year or so, I made David watch them, and just being able to kind of mull over them more and everything. I still maintain that the first one, at least, was not a bad movie. Or it wasn't a bad movie. It was a bad Silent Hill movie.
Okay.
But if they removed, like, pretty much Silent Hill, the name, if they had changed it and then changed Pyramid Head, they could have kept everything else almost identical, and it could have been really cool.
Really noted. That might actually be a good way to approach that.
Plus, I guess it is relevant to gaming news anyway, because the next Silent Hill movie is supposed to be coming out this year. So
next Silent Hill movie?
It's supposed to actually be like follow after Silent Hill 2, like the game.
Okay, both the animals are trying to get my attention right now. Dog and a cat.
Let us see the dog. We want to see the dog. Yeah. Look at the paws.
Try to figure out what's going on. Her hair is wild right now.
Every time you hold that dog up, she always looks like a little homeless man. And I love her so much.
She does. Let's see. Dagon. Probably going to say no. I don't think I've seen that one.
We can watch Dragonheart.
I would probably need to find like Dragonheart.
You don't understand. That movie was a staple in my house growing up.
Movie 2001. Gordon Dennis Pose. It is based on H.P. Lovecraft's short story, Dagon. Interesting. Yeah, well, we will definitely come up with something. We got a month to decide what our next one's going to be. From what I understand, I think one of our people who actually participates in the Why Did I Watch That has completed her schooling and whatnot. Yay to her. Shout out to Denesia. And she's supposed to be joining us on the next one. So I have a list of movies that she gets to go back and recap. And
But she does have to go back and watch those that we already covered, so she suffers just the same as everyone else.
Just the same. And so between Titanic, Food Fight, Barely Lethal,
Birdemic.
No, she saw Birdemic. She was actually
that's right.
Birdemic is the last one I know she saw, but she's got Barely Lethal. That one was entertaining. That was a weird one though, because it was just like what? I would like to get the next one's going to be something along those lines. I need to watch like a movie that I can sit through. Even the Cheer or Die was laughable. It had like some stuff that could make me laugh. So Marvel's Man-Thing, that could be an interesting one. We might check that out. Well, like I said, we'll figure something out.
Sam,
Any final thoughts? What's up?
I got your next movie, A Talking Cat.
Oh God,
I don't even know how I trust that. At this point. Be like, it's gold. You're gonna love it.
Through the whole thing though, and then it'll come together at the end.
It gets to be interesting, and we definitely challenge ourselves, like sitting through some of this stuff. But it, something to do. I don't think I was ever quite that bored. I definitely won't be that bored again. I have to, like, if I ever sound like I'm trying to be that bored, just remind me I don't have to be that bored. I can go find anything else to do. But we do get to do this, and we get to talk about it. And some of the stuff live notes. There it is. Some of the stuff that we actually get to watch makes for very entertaining content. And when we get to discuss it together, that kind of makes it work. So
I really wish we could work out some sort of a thing at some point, like an event where we do like a live commentary where we sit there and just like we stream the movie or whatever. And then, but yeah. I don't know.
That one wouldn't be too difficult. The only thing is the movie would have to be on a service that has that.
Well, it's more of a thing of we wouldn't be able to stream it anywhere though.
Licensing. Yeah.
So it would almost have to be something like people participated in like a Netflix watch party type deal.
I was about to say it would only work. It would only work on the actual live show. After the show goes down, that video is going to get flagged and pulled. But
now what would be really cool is if we grew a Discord community, and then you can do it like we could do little Discord events in between shows and everything, including something like that.
You know what? That's actually not a bad idea right there. We'll have to post. Oh God, we have to rank the crappy movies we've watched. Can everything be bottom tier?
Sam, where would you put Food Fight?
Food Fight is absolute. Like, I would go back and watch Titanic again before I watch Food Fight another time.
Would you watch the lady sing that stupid song over and over and over again?
That soundtrack bothers me. Even the random music in this was okay. Now I'm actually getting upset. I don't like, just as I continue to think about this movie, more and more just comes to mind. It's just like so disturbing.
It just makes you want to say, why did I watch that?
I promise you, it's got me asking, why did I watch that? But that's gonna be our show tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for coming back to hang out. Pickle Rick, thanks for being here. Mark the Beat, appreciate you hanging out with us as well. I have to figure out why the link wasn't working on Facebook. I didn't know that was a thing. I do know that I shared it on mine this time instead of sharing it elsewhere. So that could be a thing. Let me get to my Twitch so we can do this, and it's there. So we're gonna does it just go to whoever's live on right now? There we go. Yep, did that, got the slash raid up, and it's showing the little thing. So David, help me out real quick. If I try to do this raid, do I just put double toasted after raid?
Yeah.
Slash raid, all one word, slash raid double toasted, or do I have to find them?
Slash raid space double toasted.
Gotcha. Do we get some space in there? There we go. And so we're gonna do a little raid over there just to try to help get a little bit going over here on the Twitch, because I'm actually going to start streaming it more on just the Twitch and on the YouTube and less on the Facebook. So that's why it's not really showing up. That's why I did it on my Facebook instead of the group Facebook. I do like the participation that we get from that, but we need to push the people in other directions as it will benefit us long term. Want to thank everybody for having joined us. Be sure to tune in next week. What is coming up next week? We have a Why Did I Watch That? And then Fancasted, and then following Fancasted, we have free week and then a music special.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to figure out what our next fan cast is going to be, and maybe we'll do a collection of those and rank those to see which ones. Because I did find that I can tag everybody and just get like some more voting going in. I think David actually won the Street Fighter vote. Everybody seemed to like David's overall. I was kind of peeping that they liked his overall team. Everybody got like some individual picks in there, but David's overall.
People wasn't seeing my Will Smith and Bison vision, and that's okay. This is often misunderstood.
You know what? It probably wouldn't make sense until we saw it on film. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably how that's going to work. But for us tonight, we are Grown A Geeks. We thank you for being here. Be sure to click that QR code. Find us everywhere we are. For Linda, David, Jeff, and myself, we are out of here. Peace.